Welcome to Unveiling Mythical Legends. Today we're not talking about vague myths, we're going to touch the very edge of science. Have you ever wondered what exactly you are at this very moment, the one listening to me right now? Before the show starts, remember to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our episodes.
Me? I'm just me, right? The one with eyes that see and ears that hear?
Haha, not necessarily. Humanity's technology is already incredible. We can understand how stars billions of light years away burn, how DNA in our bodies replicates life with perfect precision, and even smells you can't detect, we can describe them with chemical formulas. But when it comes to the present moment, that subjective experience, that awareness right now, all the textbooks go silent.
You mean, even scientists don't know what I, right now, experiencing myself, actually is?
Exactly. No physical equation contains the present moment, and no scientist will confidently tell you whether it belongs in the physics department or the biology department. It's like building a perfect skyscraper, only to realize on the top floor that the blueprint is missing.
That metaphor's tragic but funny at the same time.
This confusion has been with humans ever since we had memory. Think about billions of years ago, the Earth was barren, and the first microorganisms appeared. No brain, no nerves, only instinctive chemical reactions. Fast forward millions of years, fish crawl onto land, dinosaurs rule the earth, our ancestors light their first fire in caves. At what exact moment did the light called the present moment switch on? Was it a long dark night, or a sudden dawn?
Wow, this sounds like sci-fi but also like philosophy. My head's spinning.
Haha, don't worry, we'll break it down slowly. To solve this puzzle, we need to peel reality like an onion, layer by layer, and explore whether inside our flesh and blood there's a force that transcends classical physics. You know quantum mechanics, right? That elusive, ghostly thing in the microscopic world. It might just be where the soul hides.
Wait, you're saying my soul might be hiding in the quantum?
Exactly. But before diving into those mind-bending theories, let's start with a thought experiment. Philosophers call it a philosophical zombie. Don't be scared by the name, it's not a monster from a movie. Imagine a person sitting across from you, drinking coffee. They smile, nod, complain that the coffee is too hot, but inside their brain, there's nothing. No subjective experience at all.
So, would that person feel pain? Would they perceive red as red?
On the surface, it seems like they would. But in reality, their hand pulling back is just a neural reflex, and seeing red is simply the retina analyzing light wavelengths. There's no actual experience behind it.
Whoa, that's really creepy.
Even scarier is that each of us experiences similar moments in daily life. You're driving home on a familiar route, thinking about what's for dinner, and before you realize it, the car is parked. How many traffic lights did you pass? You have no memory. Your body drove, your eyes watched, your hands steered, it all happened unconsciously.
So my body can operate automatically without me participating?
Exactly. And if the unconscious can manage just fine, then why would nature evolve consciousness, a burdensome luxury? That's the biggest bug in evolution, and it's the central mystery we're trying to crack today.
Then what is consciousness actually for?
Mainstream science suggests there are things humans can do that machines can't, being moved while composing a poem, or having an aha moment solving a problem. Behind these acts, there must be a coordinator, we call it thought. Thought pieces together countless fragments of information to create a brand new world. But this also introduces a headache scientists call the binding problem.
Binding problem? Sounds cool but also abstract.
Imagine 30,000 years ago, a primitive artist in a dark cave, facing a massive wild buffalo. His smell, sight, and hearing send 3 separate streams of signals along different neural highways to separate brain regions. No central processor exists. Yet he perceives a complete, imposing buffalo. That's the brain's magical trick. It binds fragments into a unified whole without a commander.
Wow, that's even crazier than movie magic.
And this very unified perception might be the watering of the soul we've been searching for. What's even more amazing is that this perception can command the body. he picks up charcoal and paints the buffalo on the cave wall. Every muscle contraction, every particle movement, is powered by microscopic chemical reactions and precise calculations.
This is insanely complex. But what about free will? Where do our thoughts actually come from?
If every neuron is merely executing mechanical commands, then where do the first thoughts originate? The only plausible answer is hidden in the microscopic gears, a ghostly force capable of breaking causality, the quantum world.
Next, let's talk about Penrose's quantum brain theory. Remember how we discussed the brain possibly hiding that ghostly force that can break causality and create something from nothing? Yeah, I remember that magical feeling of piecing fragments into a whole, right?
Exactly. Penrose proposes that the brain isn't just an ordinary biological computer, it's a quantum computer. He even pointed out that the core hardware of this magical machine is hidden inside structures in neurons called microtubules.
Microtubules? I thought those were just ordinary cytoskeleton fibers. What's so special about them?
Don't underestimate them. Microtubules are like secret quantum magic bases. They're made of tubulin proteins, and the tubes are hollow, which shields them from noise. Tubulin proteins can switch instantly between two shapes, and this switching could be the habitat where quantum states survive inside the brain. Imagine billions of microtubules throughout the brain, entangling across neurons like an enormous invisible quantum internet. When microtubules align and condense, that aha, I get it moment of consciousness can suddenly arise.
Wow, that sounds like a super quantum network straight out of sci-fi.
Totally. Sci-fi writers wouldn't dare imagine it this wild. But scientists are skeptical. Biologists think microtubules are too coarse to maintain quantum states. It's like they're saying, don't dream, you've got no place for your soul to hide.
So, does that mean quantum consciousness is impossible?
Not so fast. We still have a savior, ion channels. These are even smaller and more delicate than microtubules, embedded in cell membranes like tiny quantum gates crafted by nature. They're only 1.2 nanometers long, less than half a nanometer wide, letting specific ions pass through at incredible speeds, billions per second.
Whoa, that's insanely fast. But how does that relate to quantum mechanics?
Here's the key. When ions pass through these channels, they stop behaving like mere particles and act as waves, quantum waves, spreading throughout the channel. These oscillations can resonate, locally cooling the channel like a miniature quantum fridge. This means even in the wet, chaotic environment of the brain, these channels can maintain quantum states long enough to perform complex calculations.
Wait, so our brains have a natural quantum computer and it can stay cool enough to compute?
Exactly. And it's not just material transport, it's a form of information filtering. Every neural impulse, every spark of thought, is actually ions dancing through quantum channels, performing microscopic quantum computations.
Wow, this is insane. I feel like my brain is about to explode.
Haha, don't rush, it hasn't even reached the climax yet. The channels in our brain are scattered, but what strings them into a continuous self-awareness necklace? Penrose speculates it might be the brain's electromagnetic field. Imagine an invisible layer above your mind, like a conductor's baton, unifying these scattered quantum flashes into a continuous self-experience.
Wow, so I might just be the baton of this quantum orchestra conducting everything?
Exactly. Think about it. If this is true, each person's consciousness isn't just a jumble of chemicals and electrical signals, it's the universe's most delicate quantum symphony. Every heartbeat, every tiny feeling, is a collaboration of quantum computation and electromagnetic fields.
What about artificial intelligence? Modern AI is computing too, right?
Haha, good question. Modern AI, like ChatGPT, can calculate insanely fast, write articles, play chess, and even mimic human thought, but it has no experience. It computes rules and data, while our mind produces a subjective world from quantum waves, electromagnetic fields, and chemical signals combined. AI can be smarter, but it may never feel the urge to cry when watching a sunset, shiver at an old song, or experience the subtle, unique pulse of life.
Wow, so our soul might really be hidden in these tiny, scattered, yet magical quantum phenomena.
Exactly. So whether Penrose's theory is ultimately proven or disproven, the exploration itself is fascinating. It shows us that life is far deeper than we imagine. No matter how fast AI becomes, piling up chips alone will never create a true soul.
So, each of us is like a little universe, and far more complex than any supercomputer.
Haha, right? You have an entire quantum network inside your brain, possibly even synchronizing information from the whole universe. This very second you're experiencing? Your consciousness might be a symphony orchestrated by quantum computation and electromagnetic fields. Isn't that mind-blowing?
It really is. I can hardly believe what I'm seeing in myself right now.
So if today's content blew your mind, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and share it with friends who love thinking. We'll continue uncovering even more fascinating stories.
I can't wait for the next episode. Everyone, let's look forward to it together.